important in two ways. The thank you page of the complimentary consultation is actually when somebody not abandoned this first goal of filling out the form. So what that means is sometimes people will go to a form, right? They'll get like about halfway through, and then something will distract them. So whether it's an outside distraction or it's an internal conversation that they have in their head, like, I don't know if I have the money. I'm kind of afraid of, in this case, I might be afraid to go under the knife. I don't have the time for this, that sort of thing.
You can tell them?
You can't, well, you can tell that they left, and the reason why that you can tell that they left is because we added this extra piece here, the thank you page. So the thank you page shows up when somebody has actually completed the form. They submitted the form, somebody's going to be calling them because we have all of their information, and it's gone into, this is actually from a different program, from the sales program.
Would the same thing happen if they signed up to create an account? Do you send them a thank you? No.
Well, we send them a thank you, but it's not the same thing. So the difference here is, now you might be asking, why do I have two of these as goals? The first one, it shows that there are 155 people who started filling out the form. And there's 41 people that actually completed that form. So that means that there's an abandonment there. And we want to understand why out of the 155 people, there were more than 41, whatever, 155 minus 41.
How long does it take to fill out the form?
Huh?
How long does it take to fill out the form?
Well, see, that's something that we actually talked about last week, because I showed people what the form looks like. Do you remember this, Carmen? Mm-hmm. And this was something that I talked to them about before. So I'm going to go to where the form is, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, and you tell me how long it's going to take to fill out this form and how much information they're asking for. So to get to the form, and there's several ways to get to the form: schedule a free cosmetic consultation, get started. Each page has a little button that says to get started. So sign up below for your free cosmetic consultation. Oh boy, okay, I'm on my way. So this is what they're looking for: first name, last name, street address. You know what this little star means? It means you have to give your street address.
Right? It's not optional.
It's not, it should not be necessary to give your street address, city, zip code, email, mobile phone number. I would like to request a free consult for, again, the little star. Best days of the week for an appointment, best time. So you can kind of see, and it's not so much the length of the form. I mean, I could probably get through this in like 2 minutes, and I have an autofill on my computer for forms anyways. But a lot of people may not like the fact that they have to give this information in order to proceed. So they're going to have an abandon rate there. So I'm going to go back. So the lesson in this is basically that setting up goals is going to answer more questions that you may have about why certain things are not working. So then the other goal right here is these phone calls are actually tied to Google Ads that have been set up. So this is how many phone calls there have been based on these Google Ads running, people coming to the page, and then people going to the sign up form, not to the sign up form, I'm sorry. People going to the information that's provided and actually making a phone call.
Can you click on that goal for a second?
The phone calls one? Yeah.
That's tied to the Google Voice number?
Yes. So this is based on Google Ads with the Google Voice number, or one that's provided on the advertising, because I'm also doing for Capture Salon. I'm doing Google advertising on AdWords Express. We provide our own phone number, place it in there, and then we can grab how many phone calls are available. But
Yeah, does it tell you which ad is generating the lead?
So this is not,
Yes.
it would say so in the Google AdWords.
Right.
Because the Google AdWords is also partnered with this as well, and it's also set up. So that's another thing to understand too.
We use a call tracking service, but it works
As well,
the same way.
yeah. So here are the campaigns, the AdWords campaigns here. So see how they're very specific? I'm backing out a little bit. This is actually in your acquisitions, not in the goals. But if you go into the acquisitions, it will say which ads are producing. Oh, okay. It actually does say right here.
Yeah.
All 7 of them came from the general USANA ad. Yep. So with all of these right here, now there may be other ways that we are getting that particular goal, which I can actually show. So this is how many people have started filling out the form based on each of these ads. And this is how many people have completed the form to get a complimentary consultation. And it looks like the 2 ads that are bringing those people in are the tummy tuck and lipo and then the general plastic surgery. So you can see all the information that you're getting, and you can think about too, you know, how, and it also shows the cost, the number of clicks and cost per click. So in this month, they've spent about $1,000 to get 4 signups and 7 phone calls. Now, if those 4 signups and 7 phone calls turn into, well, you think it's like probably, you know, $1,500 to $7,000 that somebody is going to be spending. And then if they're going to continue, it's probably going to be more than that.
What do you,
So if they got,
what do you attribute that cost to? Is that advertising cost?
this is advertising costs.
Where?
On Google AdWords only. So even if we go on the low end, right, which say we just can it all out and it's 11 times 1,000. So then that's 11,000. So do you want to spend $1,000 to get $11,000?
That's a good return.
Well, it depends what you're selling, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different lifetime
But
value.
it's a good return. Well, also, what's not in there is a lot of this, we also have a Medispa client.
Yeah.
A lot of these customers become repeat customers.
Repeat customers, and that's,
So you know, $1,000.
Never fix somebody's face the way they want it.
Yeah, keep coming back.
A lot of it is, it's Botox, which has to go.
right.
But
It's Botox, you know, if you go for several, or even, you know, peels or non-surgical type of stuff. Nonetheless, you know, it seems like they have a pretty good return on this. We went way to the very base low numbers. I mean, it could be that they're making, you know, 31,000 or 50,000 on $1,000.
If you have a medium-sized business with a sales team in place who receives these calls, the sales team knows what their conversion rates are. They're meant to know, and they're kind of graded on that. So if you get a lead, you're going to know I convert 50% of the leads that come in, or I convert 25%.
Right.
So it's really easy to start doing the math. Now you know what the lead costs.
Yep.
You know what your conversion rate is. You know what your average sale is. You can start to see if the marketing dollars are actually paying off. But without collecting the data on the leads, you don't know how to do the math.
And unlike other marketing activities, at least you do know. So, you know, give you a hard number.
Yeah, if you buy a print ad, you're basing it on, you know, readership, and that's speculative. It's not exact. Same with a TV buy.
Yeah, but it's a good point though. To talk about cost of acquisition. Everyone has different cost of customer acquisition. Everybody's has different lifetime value of customers, depending on what you're selling on services or products. So you've got to sort of weigh up all of those two in there as well.
We like to tell our clients that the leads funnel that you're feeding into your business, that's the fuel that you're putting into your car. If you run out of those leads, the car quits going. You can have the best car on the market, the best motor, but if you don't put the fuel in the car, you're not going anywhere. So really, this is about, you know, feeding that business engine with some fuel.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah. So then, we also want to know, there's a lot that we do as far as getting these referrals. So we had, let's see here. This is called assisted conversion. So a lot of times people will say, you know, well, it looks like my AdWords campaign isn't really producing a lot because we're not seeing, you know, what if we didn't see those 7 calls and 4, you know, actual conversions? So should I shut down my advertising campaign? Should I stop using social media? Is my email not really working? That sort of thing. And the thing to take a look at is there's 2 things: assisted conversions and top conversion paths. So this is where people are coming from to get to your site. And to me, it's what I'm doing working to get people to where you want them to go. So I want to scroll down. We already talked about the Google pay-per-click, and that actually provided an assist, or converted 13 of the conversions. So I feel pretty confident about that. This is a referral site basically for us, so it's people who are actually, it's kind of like a top dot kind of profile, but specifically for plastic surgeons, that sort of thing. Here's your email conversion, so that those people that signed up for newsletters, they're opening up their emails, and they're also providing clients in the mix. And then the other thing that I'm doing here is I'm doing some Facebook advertising for them as well. So we have Facebook/referral, so that means that it's the advertising. And then this m.facebook.com referral, that just means mobile. So that means that it assisted in 2, and then the last click or direct conversion, there was 3, and here was 5. So what this is telling me is that my Facebook advertising is working, as well as my my pay-per-click. Our email is doing well. We're doing great with some organic, direct.
There, show that. That's
This, I love looking at this, and it's not just the pretty colors. This shows the conversion path. So the paths that people are taking, and this is something that I touched upon last week as well, because it's never the case that some website and immediately says, yeah, I'm going to do this. This is going to happen right now. This shows all the different paths that people take. So this was Google Organic, so they did a search in Google Organic. They found USANA Med Spa. They pulled around there for a little bit. And then they probably bookmarked it to look at it further at another time, which they did, and it became a conversion. So this happened 7 times in that month. This is on all conversions.
So that's the most common conversion path.
Yeah, I'm just going to go strictly to the thank you page to make it a little easier.
a lot of times, one of the channels will get credit for the conversion. If you dig deeper, you realize that multiple channels were actually responsible.
Yeah, so this like saves my butt quite often because, you know, I'll hear, well, it looks like, you know, Facebook isn't working or Twitter isn't working or something like that. Nothing's working. And then I dig deeper and I say, well, you know, if Facebook or Twitter or Google ad or LinkedIn or whatever wasn't there, you wouldn't have this customer right now. That is pretty powerful stuff.
You've been using this a long time, too?
Yeah, yep. Like,
Since the
Forever.
beginning, really?
She helped invent it.
We're using Google Scones.
I was writing on the walls with it. So there's that. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? This is kind of, you know, it's somewhat basic, and it's a real kind of top line look at what the conversions look like. And again, to your point, Dean, yeah, I mean, you can basically make conversions based on anything. So I'll show another really quick example. Where's my map? There we go. So this is another one where Glenn, we're actually going to be changing the conversions on this because we're going to talk about, we're going to go into the landing pages. But right now what our conversions are for this particular website is strictly I'm going to go to the month before because we're not really using this questionnaire. We set up a questionnaire. Yeah, because so that we can kind of get an idea of where people are as far as their knowledge and how close they are to the symptoms of psychosis, right? So this is like a really difficult thing, and the first part of this was mainly based on education, though we were pushing for people to actually seek help if they feel like they're having the symptoms of psychosis. So what we did with this was we set up the quiz as goal URLs. Actually, I'm going to go to all goals. So we wanted to see how people were going to react to this, about, you know, all this information.
Obviously, yourself was the winner.
Yeah, but yourself was the real winner. But what we found with that is, even though we provided for, I'm going to show you what the website looks like too. Did we take down the other thing? Oh, this is different. Okay. So what we had was along the bottom, just use your imagination. We had, you know, this right here, I think I'm losing my mind, and this was one, and then, you know, do you think that a family member may have the symptoms of psychosis? That was 2, and then, you know, check in with a friend, number 3. And then we still had this take a quiz over here as well. So we wanted to see how far people were going to get into this website and actually get to the point of taking the quiz.
So we learned that there was only one quiz that was taken, like 94%, so we took the other 2 off to unclutter the homepage, and now we're going to build some other landing pages in there to further understand the customer's needs, because this is a startup. We didn't know anything about them. They didn't know anything about us. So 6 months later, we are now somewhat familiar. So we made some adjustments to the information and the way things are set up on the site, and responding to it accordingly.
Yeah. So then what we're going to do is we're actually going to make those landing pages goal URLs. So
Now,
each one of
just
those
for
are-
landing on the page, so the milestone, the conversion there is getting them to the quiz, right?
Well, in
Is
this
it for
case,
completion or is it for the quiz? For the goal?
In this case, it was for the quiz because we actually had a quiz program that picked up all the completion data
Okay.
for us.
So you had
we
one
utilized
One
that in
conversion
the
of them
plugin.
getting them there.
Yeah.
And then you had another conversion point goal of them
Right.
completing the quiz
Yeah.
as you did with the other
Yep, exactly.
And there
What
was
was
a
it?
lot of like abandoned carts, like Julia said earlier. Because, you
What
know,
was the name of the plugin? Remember? I'll get it from you later, that's fine.
Yeah, it was something like Quiz Pro, or it was really simple. It was like a WordPress program plugin.
And that's what this site is set up on?
Yep.
On the plugin?
Yep. So, so that's basically just to show you all the different ways that you can utilize conversion goals. And at the moment, I do not have an e-commerce client.
what are other examples of conversions that you guys would like to work to? Give us an example.
Purchasing a product.
Huh?
Purchasing a product.
Mhm.
Purchase, right? I mean, this is a quiz.
Well, a really common would be anything of, you know, business information.
Right.
You know, for
So like a
B2B,
download.
Yeah, it's like
Ebook.
case studies or,
Yeah.
you know, success or white paper, right? Which is a simple, you know,
Yeah, when you're selling a service like this, it's any example of intellectual property that has some value, perceived value. And,
What about something that's not such a high ticket item? That's- Plastic surgery is a real high ticket item.
sure.
Yeah, no, that's true. Well, mine,
Still try an ebook. Do you have an example of an ebook?
I have an example of an ebook, yes.
sample pages. Sample pages would be for an ebook or something.
7 is what you
No,
said?
sample
Sample
pages.
pages.
You know, for an ebook,
For an
that,
Oh,
you know, hey, for 3 sample pages, a perfect conversion milestone means they have enough information
Yeah, just
on
to
the
taste.
cover to say, wow. the
And
content-
is this conversion pixel all tied in with a submit button?
Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's just the landing page. So it's basically up to you. Sometimes like it's the thank you page, which is completely off the site. It's a whole different URL. And what you do is you just drop that URL in, which, how about if we do the conversion? Okay. And then I'll get to what a download looks like as well, because I want to show how easy it is to actually do this. So I'm going to go to conversions. I'm going to go to Carmen. I'm going to go to your site. I may need you to help me to get to the URL that I want to get to. I want to get to the URL where her sign up page is. That's one of the URLs I want to get to.
if you go to that paint and play,
Yeah.
and then they'll say, when you're reading through it, it'll say, click on, right?
Yeah, it'd say sign.
It'll say sign up.
Here, enroll.
Okay. And then there's a thank you
guys get
page,
the first
right?
chance.
Not to put anybody on the spot at all.
Huh?
So if you don't have goals set up, there it is. So I just went to conversions, goals, overview.
Where were you? Google.
So I'm still in Google. I haven't gone anywhere yet.
Google.
Analytics.
So you have everything on the left-hand side over here. I don't know why I'm using my finger on my own computer if nobody can see that. And here's so audience acquisition, and then you go to conversions. And then we're going to go to, oops, goals, overview. And now it says set up goals. So we're going to set up a goal. New goal. So they make it really easy for you by just providing templates. Buy tickets, register online, buy merchandise. So this one is the one we'll use right here, right? Register online, sign up for a class, or schedule an appointment. That's going to be what we use for you. So we click on that. Acquisition, inquiry, find a location. This is another really good one if you're a brick and mortar. You can look at how people are looking at trying to get your location. I have goals set up one, as an orthopedic group where I set up goals for the doctors so I can see which doctors are being looked at really quickly. Engagement, so in ads and favorites, people save the product but they don't quite purchase it just yet. Sharing and social connect, and then custom goal, but we're not going to do custom goal right now. So then I go to continue. The goal description is register online. So we're going to put register for art trip. So this is the other thing too. You can actually slot the goal. So if there's several different paths that people may take within the website to get to that goal, or in this case, what we're going to be doing for Mind Map, we have 5 landing pages that are going to the same typical response. So I'm going to take all those landing pages and just slot them into these different goal sets. Okay, so we want the type is destination, and often I'll do destination, but you can also do duration or pages per screen. And then event. In this example, it shows playing the videos. So we're going to do destination and continue with that. So the destination, Carmen, what's your?
Where, even on the page?
Yeah, just go to carmenlund.com.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is my agent back here.
Who's that, the person that built the site?
That would be
These are my helpers.
These are your
So
helpers.
if you click on the pink play link.
creative
there,
workshop right here. Okay.
Or on the end, 2 places we have in there.
And then
Yeah.
Don't you want to go there?
any of the small buttons. Or links. I keep going way down.
Okay.
Yeah, it's way down. There you go.
Enroll. Okay.
Should be one on the top, Carmen.
So
Yeah.
the first
Should be one on
one
the top.
On the top and then roll on top.
Yep.
that we're going to do is we're going to go to this enrollment page, right? So all I did was copy. Oops, out of the way. And go here, and it equals to here. So it says you can apply a monetary value to conversion. We're not going to do that here because even though people are hitting enroll, we don't know what they're enrolling for, so we don't know exactly what the monetary value. So in this case, it may be $1,600, it may be $2,700, it may be nothing. You know, if somebody goes to enroll and all they do is ask a question, right? So if you have 27 people asking a question and then you have 3 people signing up, you know, it's going to screw up the
There's
equation.
a form at the top of that page for more information. You probably want to go to that page to track who asks.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yep, so this is just our first goal.
Which you may do the value acquisition. A lot of businesses know like their cost of acquisition.
Yeah, oh,
Their
absolutely.
lead costs.
Yeah.
Just that information is usually, you have a point cost that you spent already and you put that in there.
In there as
You
well.
can also add a value tag to the form, so like if
Right.
you wanted to do a sign up for tier 1, tier 2, tier 3,
Yep,
and then you
exactly.
can put a value in there and then track
Track from
the
there.
actual numbers.
So then the other one is specifies a path that you expect traffic to take. I'm not going to use it in this case because there's only a few pages, and I can kind of take a look at that very quickly and easily in the whatever that page thing is called.
So you wouldn't
So-
put that page that Chris was talking about, the information page, as part of the funnel? Because some people might go there for
Not as of
information.
yet.
Okay.
Yeah, not as of yet. So I want to verify the goal. This is a new site, so it's not really going to show a conversion rate. If you were on a site that had been up for a couple of months or that sort of thing. Well, it actually hasn't even been up for 7 days. It's been up for like, what, 3? So it would actually aggregate the information and give you a pretty good idea of what your conversion rate should be based on the information
Any
provided.
clue how far back the aggregation goes? I tried to figure that out, I can't figure it out. No?
I mean, this says based on your data from the past 7 days.
Oh, 7 days, okay.
So if you want to go in and re-verify once a month or that sort of thing, just to see what kind of numbers you're coming up with, that's a possibility
Okay.
as well. So I'm going to hit save, and now I have a new goal. So now you'll see very quickly and easily and specifically who's going to this particular page, the registration page or the enrollment page for the website.
Sorry, quick question. Now, all it's doing is it's using its typical tracking code that's associated with the site and notating that as part of this goal set. You are not putting any additional scripting into that page of a discrete campaign type code.
Not at this time,
No.
although, yeah.
And that's something obviously you can do separately.
You can do separately, and if we went back to the Asana page, they did put the company that did the very specific Google advertising did put additional scripting code in there, so that way they can track, yeah, including for the phone calls. And oftentimes,
So, wait a minute, so you're saying when you first set up this Google Analytics site, you didn't put any code on the website at all? You would have had to originally
Yeah, you
put.
did.
no, when you originally set up
Okay.
Google Analytics, which we covered,
It's just
as
that
far
for
as
this
the
page,
goal,
there's
yeah,
no- there's no
as
code.
far as the goal is concerned.
Yeah, no goal specific code. You put a code inside every page.
Every
Just
page
this-
anyways.
Your Google Analytics.
It's just breaking it out,
We'll
which
check it
page,
out.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
However, even when people do like online advertising, newspapers or television or that sort of thing, their digital media company will actually ask for access to your AdWords and or analytics so that they can drop in a little piece of code so that they can, and track. You know, they drop in a little piece of code that provides the titling for each of the ads and where it comes from, so it's very, very specific. So we'll say, you'll see things like New Haven Register, you know.
So you put the
Whatever.
original code in the header or wherever you're gonna put it, right?
Yeah,
So you're saying that so the New Haven Register can go into analytics, change the code in analytics, and will automatically update on the site? They don't have to go into the site to change the code?
they
It actually doesn't do anything with it.
it doesn't,
It's
yeah,
when that data comes in.
comes in,
It
yeah.
knows that URL part
Yeah.
of that whole tracking data is significant to this goal. So it's kind of a sorting routine on this end.
Yeah,
Because
it's
all
more-
it's doing is taking the typical traffic data and saying, this discrete URL inside the site, this landing is part of the goal set. So we're gonna count this.
We're gonna,
filter it
yeah,
out.
filter
Say,
out.
7 people that came to this form are meeting some kind of goal. So right now, all you're doing is.
Right.
So the New
And
Haven
the other
Register
thing
is just going in
is just
and
going in-
providing that filter and
that
analytics so they
filtering.
know when they're on that page. They're gonna come.
Which brings up another issue as well, which is why it's so, you know, easy for referral spam to happen, which is actually happening right now. Because people don't have to actually go into the site or the code or anything to spam. It's on the side of the Google Analytics. So because there's that kind of open loop there, people can just, or spammers,
But it's
bots.
not actual sites, that's the thing. People
It's not actual what?
It's not actual site traffic. It's
No,
not,
no, right, yeah. It's,
Like the robots, yeah.
yeah, but they're not even going to the site,
They're
they're just
not going
scanning the
into the
analytics,
site.
that's what's so weird.
but yeah,
So people are like, was this gonna slow my site down? Like, no. it's
No.
just-
They do that.
Hack.
No,
They hack the analytics part?
yeah,
well, they don't,
no, they fake analytic traffic. So you look in the traffic report, you'll see a bunch of visits from a site called blah, blah, blah. And you're like, where is that?
Right.
Why am I getting this? And then you put blah, blah, blah in Google and they'll say,
yeah, That's,
Let's say-
hold on a second, because just put blah, blah, blah in Google. Do not click on that in your analytics. So it has the URL and people will be like, I don't know what this is. Let me click on it. You just, yeah.
That's what they want you to do.
Yeah.
Just open the door for everything else.
They want you to look
That's
in your
the Pandora's
analytics and go,
box.
what is this stuff? And then you go to the site and the next thing you know, there's a bunch of pop-ups on your screen.
On your screen.
Yeah.
But I'll let you finish. I'm sorry. That
No,
was
that's,
really
I'm just saying.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we had it, we had to run with a client last month. We had, they had, we had to explain that half the traffic in their analytics report was BS.
Last week you were gonna talk about filtering, and that's specifically where the filtering makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you'll get a third of your traffic from China, Russia, and somewhere else to the site that just gets
Right, yep.
useless information.
So you gotta set up a blocker on your analytics for that, because otherwise all of those bots will.
You can't do it on the site, you have to do it in the analytics. That's the-
Yeah, well, I think oftentimes though, they'll say to try to do
Do both.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always do that for my client sites. I always put a blocker because inevitably, if I've got 8 or 10 sites, there's at least 1 or 2 that will end up with the Chinese robot or the Russian robot. And the way that I notice it is the bounce rates right away. If I have a high bounce rate, I usually
Right.
know that it's robots, so I just put it on the site. I've never put it on analytics though. I would never
So
do
you've
that.
done it actually on the site to block anybody from.
Yeah, I have a plugin I bought for 30 or 40 bucks. And I just keep using the same plugin and you could set it to whatever site you don't want to come, but there's like a standard, they know what the robots are, so they have like the standard setting and I just load it onto the
What's
site,
like
activate
a
the plugin.
spam list of IPs, they usually use IP numbers.
Yeah, and I just activate the plugin and it just,
Yeah.
So anybody that's trying to serve into that, into your the actual web page.
yeah, and like I said, the only, I don't go looking for it. The way that I notice it is with bounce rates. If I have a client with high bounce rates, then more than likely it's just a robot going in and just bouncing.
Yeah.
Bouncing bots.
Come on, Chris.
Follow the bouncing box. Oh wait, where did they go? I have too many things open now.
Do you remember the name of that plugin? I gave it to you a couple weeks ago. Do you remember the name of it? Yeah, I don't remember. I could never remember the name of
No. So like I know where it is, but, okay. So how does everybody feel about goals before we, yeah, okay. Carmen's like, I feel great because you
I
have
don't know.
goals.
It sounds
it. It's
good.
there and working, right?
And you had, did we cover it all? Okay, cool, all right.
Don't we need some more goals here?
That's
I love the
We'll get
conversion
to
rate.
your darn goals there. All right, so where did
It's like I'm
I
dead.
just had it up.
Huh?
What?
Dead. It looks
Yeah.
like I'm
That's
dead.
flatline.
Flatline,
No,
yeah.
that's not you. That's not you. Here, you might have felt, here you go.
So,
Wasn't even up then. July?
What?
It wasn't there.
No, I know. I was pulling in something else.
Oh.
All right, so here's.
There you go.
There you are.
You're breathing again.
Whoopee!
Ta-da! So this is good because the trend is going up. And this is from like, yeah.
How are you promoting it?
Well, that's what I'm the midst of
Email.
doing.
Email,
Email at the
okay.
moment. Which I found that I met a whole bunch of people this weekend and they were like, we never got email. So I'm like, really?
Something
MailChimp.
happened. Something happened because you got 16 visitors in one day.
Well, I started sending it out myself.
Oh,
4 were from social. 4 organic, 7 referrals. Let's see what referral is. Oh, Robin's list.
Did she put it on? Or
I
she
think
read
she
it?
did. No, this is referral from her website.
Oh.
So she us to put it on her website. So see, it's okay to click on this because this is like a real website. It's not okay to click on get free traffic now.
And when, can you delete it?
Well,
We're gonna check
I
it
gotta
first.
go to,
We'll check it first.
Check what?
Check the link first, go put it in Google and see what it is.
no, I already know that this is
Oh,
not a
you know.
good, like, yeah, this is bad news there. I'm totally spacing.
Just click the box, don't you? You wanna delete it?
Huh?
You're
No,
gonna
I
delete
was
it?
gonna show filters.
Oh.
And I was just there like 2 seconds ago, and now I'm not. I have too many things open.
Is it in the bin?
I thought it was in audience for some reason. Must be very.
I thought it was in the same place where your goals was.
No, I don't think it, I thought it was more. Is it in events? Which I haven't done in this site just yet. Oh my goodness, why am I totally spacing here?
It's not under admin filters.
Oh, I thought, no, it was over right here on the side. But you can do that too. No, there's actually a filters on the side. You can find it. And I thought that was going to be easier to do. But here it is. And you can basically set up filters. So, Carmen, what's the likelihood of somebody coming from like Russia to go to Puerto Rico?
None.
None? All right. So you can actually do, we're just going to do a really simple filter. So this is country filter. Or geographic filter. So again, it has very specific, actually let me go see where this may be coming from. I'm going to look at geographically where the location is.
Greece.
Greece is one. Would you have somebody coming from Greece?
Negative. Greece, negative.
Did you say negatory?
Puerto Rico.
They could come from Puerto
Could come from Puerto Rico because that's where she's sending people.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute, why does that say Westerly right there?
Because that's where you got 8 sessions from.
That's where you were this weekend.
That's where I was this weekend, telling everybody how the heck did they not get my email?
How?
And
Well,
send it out again.
Which is another filter you probably want to set up and talk about is
Against
your own traffic, so that you're not looking at that, so.
right. So you want to set an IP filter based
Those are
on.
her friends that she's
They were-
saying.
those were my
But these are,
Oh,
so
okay.
these are, yeah.
I
However,
want them to
if you
come.
keep hitting the website, you know, for whatever reasons, we want to filter out. But I mean, which you would because it's your website. So anytime you're going into your website to check anything or do whatever, you want to
You don't
filter
wanna
out
steal
your
it.
address. You want to
Yeah.
filter out
Oh,
Chris's
oh.
address. You want to filter out my
Okay.
address. So we
You can
get,
easily do that on the WordPress side with the,
yeah.
Can't you, Chris?
Yeah, well, I use Google Analytics for WordPress, and you can easily,
Oh, I see. Okay.
negate your user traffic, I mean, your
The-
user.
Your
The admin section.
generated.
Now, is that on by your device IP, or is it by your, your actual computer? So-
Yeah, put in the IP on the analytics side of your specific computer, right? Yeah.
Right, so,
Does
well,
that
if you-
plugin block your admin?
So here are the different ways, from the ISP domain, from the IP addresses, traffic to the subdirectories, and traffic to the host name.
Problem with doing it with the
So
IP is if you take your computer somewhere else and you're on another network and you have a different IP address, so.
Yeah, that was my question, is having set that up once, twice before, you have 3 or 4
So,
devices.
why does it have to be according to country? Well, I mean, you know that Google thinks there are people who just, don't they, why can't you set it for robots?
Because the robots change their names
Oh.
constantly.
And their IP
So
address.
why, what was it, get free SEO traffic? Well, get free SEO traffic may be, this month's flavor of the month. Next month, it could change to
Okay,
something
okay.
else.
This is good, and master IP addresses, so.
So if you know that, you're only getting certain types of traffic, either geographically or, any other combination. So actually, I'm actually good. So you can set up a custom.
Lowercase and uppercase, what's that for?
reason-
How they type in, what goes down, you go, how they
Case.
type in your.
Case sensitive.
Case sensitive.
Do you know why case sensitive, do you?
It depends on what you're
I don't.
filtering. So in this case, we're just doing a geographic filter. We're just doing a really super simple filter. And this is a custom filter, so we're going to exclude. So there's exclude and include. So you can do your reporting based on excluding certain things or including certain things. Oops, back. And then you can select the fields. So it can be any field. So see how one is referral? So if I decided that I wanted to exclude the referral, get free SEO, blah, blah, blah. Where's my blah, blah, blah guy? I don't want it to be case sensitive because I know that they're going to try several different formulas in order to do that. And then
We're not excluding.
okay, so I have to do it differently. This was like just a big thing. It's not
But the
exactly.
filter would not have changed your data.
Your data, either the
filter-
filter configuration is incorrect or the set of sample data is too small. So I think it's because if we go back in there. Oops. What did we get? 1? Okay. Yes, it did. For some reason, no, never mind. So nonetheless, I can change the filter and then verify and again using the same set of data. So let's just say
We're excluding?
we want to exclude that
Referral?
the referral spot thing, but I did not use the right thing.
They're right, actually, URL.
What's that? It doesn't necessarily have to be the URL. It can just be a piece. So there's
You
one.
could just do countries, so you can just exclude like Russia or.
Yeah, I think
China,
I'm gonna end up with the same thing because there is. I'll do it with another.
So you're saying there's not enough traffic for that to happen?
There's not enough
I
traffic for
understand.
that. Yeah, but I'm gonna go to one where there might be.
Because like what he's saying, it's just sorting what's already there. So there has to be
Correct.
something there.
Correct. So let's go here. we're gonna go to filters here. And this again. Actually, I'm gonna show a filter that's inclusive as opposed to exclusive. So this is for mind map. And I just want to include 8 towns, because those are the 8 towns that we are wanting to hit. So you can see here all the different types
City right
of
there.
filtering that you can do. What's that?
Back up the city.
Yeah, no, I got that. So city. Oops. And it doesn't have to be sensitive. You can do filter verification.
Gotta name it.
Pardon?
You gotta name, you don't have a name on it at the top.
Oops.
You have to click include.
So see what we just did?
So you got 20 page viewers on Hamden,
From
Connecticut.
Hamden.
From where?
Hamden.
Under section, change section.
Whose site is that? This?
This is the mind map.
Mind
Oh,
map
okay.
site.
Yeah. I didn't do your site.
You don't have enough.
It doesn't
visitors
have a
yet.
lot of information at the moment.
Right.
So you don't have, so when you put in include, oh, that was exclude, so you
Well,
excluded
yeah, I
Hamden?
have to do include. Apparently it's hard to like do and teach at the same time. So here we go, city. So we included.
So you type in Hamden,
So
right?
let's see, yeah, we'll do the even because that has more. And then hit verify again. What did I miss this time? Oh, okay, I have to go to advanced. And just see.
Does it know that the city is in Connecticut? New Haven is in Connecticut?
Yeah. No, I know what it was that I have to. It was inclusive as opposed to exclusive. So it was New Haven plus. So actually, let me go to existing folder. It said that it was about filter. All right. Well, nonetheless,
We can start with that next week, I guess.
yeah, there's a ton of ways I can do filters. Oh, okay. So this is specific
There you
product
go, yeah.
filtering. exclude all hits from known bots and spiders.
Yeah,
So that's something that they pushed into their settings. Cool. Okay. So we have 2 more weeks.
Yep.
The 22nd and the 29th, right? I just added 7.
imagine that.
I can do simple math. Oh my goodness.
So next week, what are we gonna talk about?
I think we're gonna get deeper into filters, and especially bot filters.
Okay.
That's sort of an exclusion.
That's definitely an exclusion. And then also by that time,
So that kind of
Okay.
walks you into toxic links. You were talking about toxic links and stuff. The links. Oh, never mind.
one of the things that I know that we had talked about, and maybe that's why what you mean by toxic links. You're not talking about backlinks. You're talking about, what are you talking about?
All links that you don't want to have come into your site and getting rid of them.
Right. But that's in filtering.
That's fine. That's why.
Yeah.
Just use
But-
different language. That's fine.
The other thing too is we haven't really gotten into behaviors within the site.
Okay.
So inline,
Page views.
page views,
Yeah.
paths along the page views and funnels and that sort of thing. So one of the things that we had talked about was, there's all these pages on websites and all of these paths along the site, and many of them are either, not necessary. Yeah, okay, well, or,
Right to the point, would you, Glenn?
Be honest.
Useless.
Well, you think it's something that, your customer registered in or not. So
Yeah.
you find out and then you should respond, you should change it.
right, and make it easier for them to find the information that they are looking for.
It's not about what you say, it's about what they need.
That's right.
And
Shorten the runway.
yeah, and we found that, often, as well, you go into the site, you take a look at it, and, you just, the frustration is palpable.
Yep.
Because they just keep hitting, like, I'm gonna get where I need to go, aren't I? Or they're backing up.
Then you only have a short time for them to find that link too, so.
I have one question, if you can address it next week or now, that I would love to see you go over, is just the languages setting, the not set reporting that you get
Yeah.
on the traffic. What do you have to do to change that setting? Because I've gotten so many reports where there's a not set situation. I'm like, all the pages you refer to, that's designated.
Right, and that is frustrating, and that's something that comes up not only in what the referrals are, but even when you're talking about geographic or audience, and it will say not set and that sort of thing, and often it's, the other thing that happens as well that we'll talk about is when Google has one set of numbers, and some of the referring sites like Facebook and Twitter and Facebook advertising and Twitter advertising, things like that, have a different set of numbers.
Yep.
So, oftentimes, yeah.
No, that doesn't happen. Really?
Oh, sure.
And like Facebook has.
And the not set is part of that. It's basically, whatever referring, one's not playing nice with the other, however it's being
Is that
referred.
kind of a set of different bounce rate settings? In terms of bounce rate,
No, they just have different ways of counting stuff. Like
Yeah.
Facebook counts a video, you play it for 3 seconds.
Right.
YouTube counted on 15 or something. So
Right.
they all have different values.
And
so it doesn't count.
Especially with YouTube, I mean, some of the platforms have a whole algorithm on Like he says he does it, but then, I mean, the algorithm is one thing, but reporting is another thing. Like I've had reports that are 7 days delinquent with YouTube. You know, they just haven't updated it. They have the
Yeah.
algorithm, they just haven't updated it.
Yep.
You know, or you're parked in some manual monetization, manual monitoring where they're monitoring your site, and all of a sudden somebody will monitor your site, and whoop, all of a sudden you got 500 likes on or 500 views on your page all of a sudden one day because they parked you. So there's a lot of weird shit going on and all that stuff.
So next week we'll be up here, I think it's better.
I don't have my key.
We'll be on front.
So,
We'll be on time.
because you're on camera, where are we, when, and what time and the date?
At the Grove, upstairs at the clubhouse, 8 o'clock next Tuesday.
760 Chapel Street, New Haven.
760 Chapel Street.
Very good. And if you can't get in the Grove door, go into the, what's the name of the coffee shop?
Next door, the Happy Lounge Cafe. Happy
Happy life.
Happy life.
Happy life. Okay.
Good, because we'll wait for
And
you
the
there.
happiness life, yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Grab yourself a copy and I'm happy.
That's right.